are live.
Hello, welcome to Fantasmagorium. I'm Kat, joined by Steve, and we're here to talk about the 7th episode of Alien Earth, as well as some other recent movies and recent movie news. So, Steve, what were your
Yes,
thoughts on your first gut reaction to this latest episode?
I loved it. I love this show. I'm unapologetic about it. And look, I could sit here and nitpick the hell out of it. And I hear people crying online about breaking continuity. I'm like, you can't break continuity to a dead franchise that just got resuscitated. You know what I mean? I mean,
Which already broke its continuity with the Prometheus stuff and Covenant.
right. I'm like, let's just kind of. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. I like it. I thought this episode was interesting. It was, it's pretty straightforward. Um, I liked it. That it's getting into kind of where I still don't know what Kirsch has, what his deal is. I mean, obviously he knew, right? He knew pretty much right away that the kid was being manipulated. So he's like, all right, let's let that we'll let that play out. We'll set the trap, you know,
See
and
where it
everything.
goes.
I still don't. There's still something. I still don't know how loyal he is to the prodigy, right?
Yeah.
I just it feels like there's something else there, and I don't know. I don't even know if we'll know this season because obviously there's only one episode left. We may not know until next season, like kind of what his deal is. But for, as far as the episode, I thought the episode was cool. I mean, I think we knew that the alien and Sydney or Sydney and Wendy were had something going on there. So that didn't surprise me. I thought the kills were fun, especially with that battalion in the woods in the jungle. That was great. I mean, that was awesome. So I don't know. I liked it. What do you think?
Um, I liked it too. It finally kicks the show into high gear a bit more. We got to finally see why Kirsch was letting that play out because he was like, clearly this is a trap, so I'll just lay one of my own. So I like that. Boy Cavalier continues to be really stupid because it's like you literally looked at the time-stamped footage and you didn't notice that, hey, this guy, Kirsch told you a little while ago that everything was fine, and clearly it wasn't.
Right.
And he's having a meltdown over what's going on, but he's not, picking up on the fact that Kirsch has been kind of, betraying him. And then I still think it's interesting that Malawan still didn't tell the head of Weyland-Yutani what's going on. Like, he got his own little battalion of frogmen together to try and handle this themselves. And it's like, I still think he's up to something. I just don't know what it is. It's like, why, if you just told the CEO of Weyland-Yutani, showed him the footage you found, how Boy Cavalier is responsible, you would get probably a much stronger, reaction and resources for this.
Right.
But instead, he's just doing it himself. But we're not, like, is he trying to earn brownie points to the company? We don't really know.
Yeah.
Kirsch has spared his life. And then meanwhile, on the other end of things, you have, Wendy and her sibling and the other and Nibs trying to make their escape. But the brother really screws it up.
Yeah.
Because I guess he just was not able to handle the intense violence of it. Because she's like, what did you do? And he shoots Nibs. And it's like, and he just tased her, right? Like, he didn't, like, kill her.
No, I think I don't know what that weapon does, but she looked like she was out of commission. But maybe she was just tased out. I don't know. You know what? Just real quick, in that jungle scene with that battalion when the xenomorph wipes out that whole battalion, she's the look on her face. She's giddy. She loved it. Nibs was like, "This is awesome."
Oh yeah. Nibs
she loves violence, and so when she grabbed that dude and just basically crushed his jaw, it was. I'm like, oh yeah, she's she's always going to be a problem. She's got somebody's got to put her down, but Wendy didn't want her to be put down, especially
because they needed to make their escape, and he screwed it up. And then meanwhile, Cavalier comes up with this really evil idea that, like, let's take the parasite in the sheep and apply it to not just any person, but somebody with a really low IQ to see what the differences are. And his assistant's like totally on board. And Boy Cavalier says he has the perfect candidate in mind, but we don't know who yet.
I don't know. That's at first I'm thinking it was cool that the way to see if this thing had intelligence was to use pi. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, and the way Oculus kind of pounds it out and then drops one. I thought that was funny. That was pretty good. That was a good scene. And I'm thinking, man, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they may obviously the old man is going to go find somebody for Oculus to occupy, right? Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if Boy Cavalier ends up infected some way somehow by one of
something awful is going to happen to him. It's just a given.
Right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Kirsch is the architect of it.
Yeah,
of that happening.
Ernesto, what did you think of the latest episode of the series in general so far?
So I sent a message in the chat saying that I haven't been keeping up. I was going to jump back in when you guys were done with the alien discussion. So can Kat, can you send me a message in Messenger when you guys are done with the alien?
Sure.
All right. Sorry. Be right back.
No worries.
Yeah, but that's I like that it's finally, it's kicking into high gear, and it's like it's about time that it did, because I get that they might be stretching the story out across multiple seasons, but it's like, come on, let's get something. I think that's kind of why they put the flashback episode at the midway point, because they're spending so much time with all this other stuff, and now that it's finally hit the fan, I hope that the finale is next week is a bit of a longer episode, so we could get more out of it.
Yeah, I would assume so. I didn't check to see if there's runtimes already listed online. There probably is, but I assume that it's going to leave on a cliffhanger. I don't think we're going to get anything wrapped up, and or maybe a threat or two. But I mean, I don't think we're going to get total satisfaction. I think we're going to get a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and Kirsch is surprising that he decided to spare the guy's life. He's like, no, lock him up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so clearly you want something else out of this as well. Not sure what it is.
Both of their right-hand men, basically, Kirsch and Morrow, they both have their own kind of agenda, which is interesting.
Yes.
Right. And I don't know. We still don't know kind of what those are. It seems that they're loyal to, their masters, but I don't know. There's a lot of kind of underhanded shit going on between both of them.
Now, was it one of Marwan's traps that caught the new xenomorph, or was it one of Prodigy's traps?
No, I think it was. So it was Kirsch, because they had it. Right.
Okay, so Kirsch had it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so they got that back, and
I also thought, just to touch on this real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought it was interesting that they had that trap ready. They have those cases and cages.
Right.
Ready. So they planned out these kind of scenarios to hold these not just the xenomorph, but all these specimens. So they must have had this planned out for quite a long time, to have all that stuff kind of ready, and these kind of scenarios might play out, how to keep containment on these specimens. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I really don't like the way she's talking to the xenomorph. It's kind of reminded me of, Chris Pratt talking to Taming the Raptors in Jurassic World. It's like, no, this is pushing it a bit far for me. And how she click her tongue and get it to attack on command. It's like, okay, you're pushing it now.
I understand that, and I see that point. But I do like the fact that when Hermit asked her, what did you tell it? And she said, hide and follow. I think. So. It's not like she knows for sure. She's guessing. She's hoping that she's right.
Yeah, because it ends up at the end of the show, we see the end of the episode, we saw its POV as it's looking at everybody on the dock and is like debating with itself whether it's going to do something, and it stays hidden.
Yeah.
And I assume that because the team on the dock wants to take them back to the facility, that they're going to cross paths with the alien. And there was one point when it leapt out of the tree to attack the other group that the guy literally had the gun aimed right at it, was shooting. And it's like, well, it should have been hit.
Yeah.
But
that was odd.
It survived. So that was, because the xenomorph is not, immortal to bullets.
Right. And it would have been okay to take a bullet or two and leak acid blood all over the guy.
Yeah, that would have been
that. But that was weird. That was odd too. And I don't know if it was a bad edit or edit for time or what happened there. But that was
I kind of like how quickly also the when the facehugger must have detached itself, it was like barely 5 seconds, and Davis wandered off, and it's like where'd he go? They get him to come back, and
that was funny too. I like that. I like this episode. I'm having fun with the show. Look, like I said,
pick it up.
We can nitpick these things. You can do that with just about anything, but just to kind of sit back and have a cool sci-fi show. This one, and like you said, a lot more action in this one. So I think more people will be like, "Oh, that's cool." I think a lot of people were hoping this would be all alien kills action the whole time. But I like some of the slower episodes that kind of get into philosophy and sci-fi tropes and shit like that. But at the end of the day, we want to see some good kills, and we got some good kills in episodes.
And it was interesting also that Malawan, I keep forgetting his name, but he's like, when he meets Slightly and the other kid, he's like, okay, shoot to kill. Like the shoot to kill going forward, but he decides to keep both of them with him without killing, and then they dump the body in the water. And it's like, I kind of agreed with Slightly, because it's like, you didn't tell him the timetable for how quickly he needed to get the guy to the beach. You didn't tell him that another alien was going to jump out or that he needed anything. Because, of course, he knows that Slightly wouldn't have done anything if he knew the guy was going to get hurt. But at the same time, Malawan should have planned for that. It's like, if you're not going to tell him, you're going to have a contingency plan to get there in time. And clearly they didn't, because he said they were going to the beach, not to some lagoon. And they were at the beach. So if he had met them at the beach, then he would have got it, and it would have been fine. But he didn't, and then he got greedy and decided to head further into the interior. And I guess their teams were not communicating on radio because they don't seem to realize that half their team got wiped out by the xenomorph.
Right.
Oh wow! Hey, Cam. Not watching this one. Stop to drop a like. Have fun. Thank you so much for dropping it. Yes.
You should watch it. It's good if you like it. I'm having a really good time with it anyway.
So what are our predictions for next week? Like, I think you and I are on the same page in agreeing that the overall story will continue past season 1. So what do you think would be, like, do you think it'll be like a big cliffhanger, or will it still have
I do. I'm not 100% sure where this thing is going, to tell you the truth, because I don't think Wendy's going to leave the island.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to leave. I think the alien's going to wipe out a bunch of his men. I don't know where Kirsch is at, what his plans are. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of expectation or predictions, other than I think it's going to be a cliffhanger, and I don't know, man. What do you think?
I'm trying to think, because they keep going with this whole Neverland Peter Pan analogy, and I'm like, they did allude earlier in the season about how, in the original book and play of the Peter Pan and Wendy, it's mentioned by the narrator that if the Lost Boys start growing up, Peter gets rid of them, but the narrator isn't sure if he's killing them or if he's sending them back to London. And then the narrator in this children's play literally says he's not sure if he is killing them. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
And it's like, and they kind of alluded to that with the way with the way Prodigy wants to wipe the memory of some of them, and which is like, you would think he would have done that already with all of them. So ideally, they're going to go back there, and I don't think things are going to work out for Prodigy, or for the Boy Cavalier, as he's called.
Boy Cavalier, yeah, I don't think so either. But I don't know if they're gonna.
There is a fan fiction novel that got approved, which is Wendy returning to Neverland after finding out that Peter is thinning out and killing the Lost Boys and stopping him, because he does that to feed off the life force to stay young himself. And I thought that's really gnarly, and I'm wondering if you're going to see a weird analogy of that, because Wendy, as you mentioned, she's probably not going to leave the island, and Boy Cavalier is clearly not. Like, even his right-hand man, the bald guy, was like, "Sir, it's not really wise to separate the creatures because we're not going to have maximum containment."
Right.
And he's still following the guy's orders, so it's probably
they're going to come to loggerheads because they have a philosophical difference.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? And it's a wide one, and you can tell.
Yeah.
She doesn't care for the way he's doing things.
Yeah. Cam says, I hear it's good. I'm short on time, unfortunately. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
And like it'll be around for a while.
And like I said, after Prometheus and Covenant, it's like any complaints about continuity or whether it's good or not kind of goes out the window, and this is a lot better than either of those.
Yeah.
So and so far it hasn't alluded to the events of either of those. So I assume that we'll get a hint next week. I mean, technically they could wrap up a lot of it next week if they wanted to, because given all the characters who have died, we only really have, Wendy and her brother, and then, Peter, and then Kirsch.
I mean, if they're not going to do any more seasons, they could basically,
a fight breaks out, and then,
the whole island could just end up being decimated or taken over by these two aliens, and then Yutani nukes it from outer space.
Which is kind of like, spoilers, what happens in the novel Jurassic Park. Gennaro calls in the military to just napalm the whole island.
Right.
Because it's like, no, we can't let this get out of control.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens next week. But this was pretty good.
Yeah.
Good episode. Good episode, and we're gonna see where it goes. Let's see. So now next, we have all now seen The Long Walk.
Yes, I saw that last week.
Yes, I saw that. I've seen it twice now. I thought it was a good adaptation. They did make some changes. I won't spoil what those changes are. Very intense movie. Like, it doesn't shy away from the violence. I was curious that when they got like the Hunger Games director, I'm like, is it gonna be? But they're like, nope, he really earned that R rating.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because, the longer the movie wore on, the more connected I felt with the characters. Yeah. And like really rooting for them and bonding with them. Because it's like, it's such a mind fuck to think about. Like, how do you start making friends with people? Because I get that it's like a Vietnam War analogy, but the difference there is, when you go to war, you never think it's going to be you or your friend who's going to get shot. You think it's going to be something else. Whereas here, they know for a fact, either they're going to die. Like, there's no scenario where any of the people they make friends with are still going to be friends at the end of the walk. But they still talk and hang out with each other. And the way that Ray tries to help the first kid who's got a problem, it's like you're kind of, in a way, delaying the inevitable. And it's just such a weird, like, psychologically interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. And about time they finally did it. I admit I wasn't crazy about Mark Hamill as the Major. I thought he kind of hammed it up a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little cartoonish.
I mean, he doesn't have much time in the book either, kind of like in the movie, but the time he's there, it does get a little much.
Yeah. But it's fine. I mean, it's fine. Nothing took me out of the movie. I was locked in the whole time. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought, was it David Johnson? That kid's going to be he's a star. That guy's every time that guy's on screen, either whether it's Alien Romulus or this Long Walk, he just chews up the scene. He's just great. I love that.
Cooper Hoffman's probably going to be a star too. He was really good.
Yeah, he was good too. Yeah.
Yeah. And even I like Charlie Plummer as the jerk, Barkovich. He was really good too. I'm like, man,
he was a good asshole, yeah, for sure.
And I like how even that's another surprising thing the movie does. Like, the guy's such an asshole and kind of sadistic, because they don't mention it, but in the book he escaped from an insane asylum because he joined the walk just because he wanted to get away, didn't want to go back. Whereas here they don't tell you that, but it's like you can tell he's off because he smiles and giggles and takes pictures of people when they're about to get shot. But even at the end of the story, I almost started caring for him in a way. And I'm like, that's how good the movie is.
Yeah, the movie's really good. It's really good. I thought it felt a little long. The Long Walk, maybe it was supposed to be. I thought they could have tightened it up just a little bit, but other than that, I thought the movie was good. It was really good, actually.
Ernesto, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was a very good movie. Very good. One of the better adaptations of a Stephen King work. Because you can kind of throw a stone and pick a good one, but you sometimes hit one that's just like, But this one was very good from start to finish. Well, almost finished. It kind of had me, very good acting, Very good pacing. I didn't feel the runtime. Um, but I do understand how at some point it does get a little bit repetitive, even though it kind of is giving you that timeline of when they started, how many miles, and you can pretty much count the days because you're already paying attention to sunrise, sundown, and everything. The ending was a letdown only because it kind of feels like it was a big boiler happening, and then when it hits that melting point, it just like the steam just leaves the room completely. um, and I don't know how it was gonna end, but I was just like, I feel like that was not the ending I kind of wanted, but okay, we'll leave it there. But everything leading up to it was very good. And Kat mentioned it about how it was kind of odd as a viewer. You know what they're signing up for. You've already seen the trailer. You know that this is essentially a death sentence. It's just a matter of the the victor will be the strongest, the fittest. Um, Yet I have to imagine that for whatever reason, if I were to put myself in their shoes and participate in something like that, straightforward, I'm thinking like it is very impossible to just walk and not engage with anybody.
Right.
I feel like that is just, there's just that instinctual part in your brain that requires a type of communication or a type of a biological need to engage with someone regardless of what you're doing, because you can only be the quiet silent type for so long. At some point you're going to want to participate in something.
I've done that though. Anytime we used to go hiking with friends and everything, I would fall behind, and even when I caught up, I just wouldn't talk because I was tired or whatever. I just like I have to focus. I have to focus and keep going. Like if I were in the long walk, I would want to walk towards the front of the lines. I don't have to listen to everybody, so I don't have to look back and see anybody get shot or all the other disgusting things that happen along
Again,
the way.
but again, a lot of them, I'm pretty sure a lot of them had that mentality, and at some point something cracks. You just have to.
Yeah.
But it is very, it's very, it's wholesome and sad because you can see in another life, another place, another scenario, these people would have been the greatest of friends, the best of brothers, and here they are. They know what's happening, but at some point, a little distraction, you're just like, "Oh, come on, man! Don't do this to me. We
Yeah.
know where this is going. Don't do this to me."
The Musketeers would have totally been friends in some other scenario, so outside of the long walk for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some of it is like God brutal, like the kid who wanted everybody's name and number because he was going to write a book about the perspective on the inside, and it's like
But you knew right in the beginning, right when he says that, you're like, oh man, this kid's gonna it's gonna be bad for this kid.
well, not just that. If I were one of the other guys that he told that to, it's like, oh, thanks. You're going to write about how it's bad enough we're being filmed, and now you're going to write about all of our agonies and miseries for the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's on TV, right? I mean, and that's what's interesting,
like,
that this wasn't the first long walk, right? That this was actually well into this, yearly or annual thing happens. So that was interesting too. So they knew, everybody knew what the score was.
Yeah, because it's been, I think I said at the beginning, it's 19 years after the war or whatever. But that's some of the interesting things about it. Like, oh, the Musketeer, they're all making friends. I'm like, even in the beginning where it's kind of going pretty easy and they're all being super friendly, hanging out, it's like, I don't know if I would do that. I'd just try and ignore it.
Oh, you know who else I liked in this movie, Kat, was I think his name is, he was in the Karate Kid movie, Ben Wang.
Yeah, Ben Wang, yeah.
Awesome.
With the very heavy accent.
He was good, I thought. I was like,
I also like the one who played the guy who played Parker.
Yeah.
The one who's just like doesn't want to talk to anybody, just fuck off kind of thing. He says, get lost, Huckleberry or Hick or whatever he says. That was that was brutal too. But I thought that was a really good movie. And I've been reading a lot of reviews, and the people who don't like it, they're like, it's repetitive. It's people just talking the whole time. It's like, are you not connecting with the characters? I mean, I guess not. But
like it's really like when you get a sense of who they are, where they came from, what they're about. It's like it's the everyman in a way. It's like it's because of the allegory to the Vietnam War, which I didn't know going into it, but in my head I was kind of getting vibes. I'm like, why does this feel like a war allegory? I'm just not piecing which one is telling me. And then when I started seeing the aesthetic, oh, it's probably like a war in like a Vietnam or Korean something. But it's that analogy of, you meet these people from who knows which part of the world, and for a lot of Americans, the world to them is just domestic. They've never met anybody outside of a 50-mile radius in whatever town they come from, and all of a sudden there's just like, oh, you guys are cool.
Mhm.
Like, how do you not just fall into that camaraderie right away? The chemistry was off the charts.
I mean,
Even the
obviously,
guy with the radio had chemistry, and all he did was just lift the radio.
right. Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. I think it's one of the, like you guys have both said, that it's one of the better adaptations. I agree. Shawshank was a great one. Gerald's Game, if you guys have seen that, that was a really good adaptation as well. That was a Netflix movie, but really good.
Was this like a precursor to all of these battle royales type of adaptations in the years to follow?
Actually, it was the first one.
Yeah, because he started writing this in 1966, but he didn't publish it until 1979.
Yeah,
I know, but before that, there was nothing similar. This was like its first of its breed.
yes,
I think so.
Because, man, I'm watching, I'm just like, man, I wouldn't be, in my head, I'm thinking, I would not be surprised if this is the precursor to movies like Running Man, the Battle Royale, Hunger Games.
and that's why I think.
Well, he wrote The Running Man.
Yeah, he wrote The Running Man.
No, I'm just going through the list of very similar one. I wasn't specific yet.
Battle Royale, all of that, right? What was I gonna say? Oh man, I had it and it just went.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I gave it an A.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gave it a 4.5 out of 5. That was a really good movie.
I'm giving it a 4.
I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 too, didn't I?
Yeah.
I believe you
Oh,
did.
by the way, you know who I didn't notice until the moment they clocked him out, and it's a mild spoiler, but the moment they clocked him out, it's like poor JoJo. Poor JoJo.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was him until I'm like, God damn, somebody stretched you out in the corner. You grew, my man. Also, I was a little disappointed with one character, and it was the Charlie. Is it Charlie or Chris Plummer? What was the name?
Charlie Plummer.
Charlie Plummer. I was a little disappointed because the way his character's story ended, I was like, I don't know why, but I imagined the tall guy just pushing him at the last minute out of spite, and then that was it for him.
Right.
Well, he does mention at one point he gets mad at Peter McVries, and he's like, "I got a plan for you."
Yeah.
And later in the movie, when he starts like hugging the one guy and being apologetic, I thought, is this like a ruse to throw the guy off course? You know?
I know, because in my head I'm thinking he's getting very close to a lot of people. He's already proven that he is the worst of the bunch by far. He's instigating for no reason, and I felt like, man, if he gets near the tall one, that's it for him. He's just gonna give him a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that character, I'm not gonna spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but his character's journey ends the same way it does in the book.
Okay.
But that was, yeah, so I think that was a really good film.
Stebbins, are you talking about Stebbins?
No, about Barkovich.
Oh, Barkovich, yeah.
But Stebbins' backstory is the same as well. Those are, unless you want to talk spoilers, I guess we can. I don't think anybody cares, but.
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay. So I just saw another movie. I just saw The Roses, which is not a remake of the DeVito movie from '89, or not even a strict adaptation of the novel from '81. It's kind of like its own thing, but the same type of idea where you have this happy couple. They got kids. They from England, but they moved to Mendocino, California. He's a popular architect. He buys her a seaside restaurant that she works at 2 nights a week or whatever, and then something dramatic happens and the roles switch, where he becomes like the stay-at-home dad who can't get a job because his latest building thing that he designed collapsed in on itself because of the design, and he's like, nope, this is your fault because you told the engineers to do this. This is your fault. And he can't get a job anywhere. And then meanwhile, a critic comes to her restaurant and gives it a 5-star review and says she's off to the races. And then when you see the trailer and it's just them sniping and attacking each other, getting angry, that's when it shines, and it's really good. Unfortunately, the bulk of the movie is just watching their marriage over the years, waiting for it to kind of deteriorate. And most of the stuff from the trailer you don't see until like late in the fourth quarter. But when they're going at it with each other, that's really good because it's Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah. Andy Samberg and Kristen Bell's characters are kind of cartoonish and kind of weird. They don't feel like real people. But I did like the ending. I thought the ending was kind of ballsy. I was like, oh shit. But it was okay. I mean, I'm still not clear why they didn't really market this movie at all. It just kind of came out, and then it's like, oh, it's come and gone already. But I
Yeah.
gave it 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
And
I planned on seeing it, and the show times were not matching for the day I was trying to plan, so I just let it lapse. And I'm like, I'll probably rent it in the fall and I'll catch up on it or wherever it ends up being. But I was charmed by by the trailer. And you mentioning that the wife, Olivia Colman, gets a 5-star review. I'm just like, wait, is this the backstory for the Olivia Colman character in the Hulu show The Bear?
In the bear, yeah.
Is her backstory this fucked up?
I watched the first season of that show, and I thought it was okay, and I didn't continue. But maybe I should.
It's good. It gets better.
It's good if you ignore for a moment that some stuff, I'm not gonna get into it, but I think the second season is my favorite only because it's one of those few seasons that has a star-studded guest starring episode where it could be easily a marketing ploy just for, oh, look at who are we having in this episode, come watch us, but it actually walks the walk and talks the talk. And I'm like, fuck me, I gotta watch this again.
Yeah. The second season is really good. I mean, I really like the first season, but second season I think is my favorite.
And I just binged the entirety of The Pit this week.
That show.
I thought that was a pretty good show.
I can't wait for January. That's season 2 starting in January.
I couldn't get through like halfway through the first episode. I'm like, I hate these characters. Suck. What's going on here? This show's stupid. And
well, it's like how an ER is run in a way.
I'm like, this is lame.
No, it's funny when the show started. Well, no, before the show came out and all the, you know how sometimes you just don't connect the dots until it hits you in the face. When the promotion was coming out for this movie, they were really putting a lot of heavy emphasis on Noah Hawley coming back to a show. And for whatever reason, my brain was not connecting him from ER. I wasn't making that connection until when he started talking by halfway through the first one. Wait a minute. Is he? No. And I started looking it up. Oh, it is.
You mean Noah Wiley?
Noah Wiley.
Noah Wiley.
It's a show and it's not a movie.
But
no, because I kept seeing it, I'm just like, wow, this is like a spiritual successor to ER. And then when you see who the lead is, I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
There was actually a lawsuit about that.
But man, you can easily convince someone, oh yeah, this is ER, the later years. I'm like, yep, I believe it.
Yeah.
I like how they structure it though, where each episode is like 1 hour in the ER. I thought
in
that
the
was
shift,
a lot. Yeah.
I'm just curious if the next season is going to be like what, a week in the future, a month, a year?
He says it's gonna be 9 months in the future, and it's gonna be on the 4th of July.
Oh shit! There's gonna be a lot of burn victims then.
Yeah.
Probably.
You just know there's gonna be burn victims in some capacity. I'm not trying to say it's good. I'm just saying it's gonna happen.
Stubby hand, missing finger.
Stubby hands, yeah. There's gonna be probably a guy with a rocket shoved up his ass. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that. But at the same time, like most streaming shows, once I walked away, I watched the first 4 episodes, and then I went to bed. I got up in the morning. I didn't really care to keep watching it because one of the downsides of a show where it's taking place in just one day is that, especially when it's like a high stress ER type environment, you get very little time to get through certain character beats to get closer to it, and it's like it's counting on the rush of the speed of all the chaos and stuff happening to keep you going. And then the same thing happened again. I watched the 5 episodes following, and then I didn't care about it for a while. But then I figured, well, I only got 6 to go, so then I rinse, dry, repeat. But I still thought it was pretty good, better than the old medical shows like ER, which basically
I felt like it was. I didn't. It was way too kinetic for me. I was like,
yeah, it is a bit kinetic.
I was like, I'm good. It just didn't work for me.
And speaking of the Emmys, Kristen Milotti won best lead actress in a drama series for The Penguin, or supported, or for a limited series, or
for a limited series, yeah.
Yeah, for The Penguin, and that was the only. It got 8 Creative Arts Emmys. I didn't see what those all were, but she was the one who got the main primetime Emmy win for that.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Andor picked one up, a really prestigious one, writing for Dan Gilroy.
Yes, for
Oh
Andor.
yeah.
That was very good. And it was
I
that
hope
was,
I hope it was for the penultimate episode.
I
Oh,
think it was. Yeah, the one where Mon Mothma gives her a speech.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what if you were to ask me which one I would vote to give the award, it would be for the penultimate.
Yeah. And that's the first time any live action Star Wars material has won a prestigious writing award.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
a pretty big deal.
I hope it goes to their head a little bit because they need that ego moving forward.
But,
They
so
do.
Dan Gilroy. Dan Gilroy is teaming up with oh, what's his name? God, now I can't remember the director's name to do Miami Vice. So
So
he's
Joseph Kaczynski.
yeah, Kaczynski. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah. So that should be really good. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be good.
Oh my god, that's gonna be okay. That's gonna be so fucking cool. I can already see the car stunts.
Can you imagine like for Crockett and Tubbs like uh, somebody like Glenn Powell and then what Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck. Now I want it. God damn
Right.
you. God damn you. God damn you, Steve. Now I need it. If I don't get it, I'm gonna be disappointed, and it's going to be an inferior project.
Well, I mean, Brendan Sklar could play. I mean, there's a few people that could play the Crockett, but I think
No,
Powell
you
would
know
be
who would be good if not Michael B. Jordan? Uh, mid-sized sedan. What's his name?
What?
He's gonna play Jon Stewart in the Green Lantern show.
Oh yeah, Aaron Pierre.
Aaron Pierre, and I could see him in a Miami Vice setting because he did that with Don Johnson, ironically, in that Netflix movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Other news today is that Matt Reeves says that the villain for the Batman 2 will be somebody who's never really been done in a movie before. And it's like, that's interesting wording. That can mean one of three things. Either one, it was done in an animated movie. Two, maybe he just meant it hasn't been in a movie, period. Or three, maybe it's a character we've already seen in live action that's just going to be reimagined to the point that it's like, may as well be a completely radical new take on a character.
When he said that, I immediately thought of Deathstroke because we only got him in that little ending scene. So I'm like, oh, it's probably gonna be Deathstroke then.
I remember that's. I think it's going to be somebody. Oh, I don't know if they would go with.
No,
They could.
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
I was wondering though, like, because it is weird. Like, we never really got it. And it's like, well, you didn't really get it in the whatever movie he was in for that post-credit scene either.
Yeah,
I can't remember which one it was, but
that's where my mind immediately went. And I know everybody online's like, oh, it's gonna be Hush. I'm like, dude,
no, they can't do Hush. They don't have a
Hush. We don't have a Rogues Gallery yet.
Yeah, and Hush is like a whodunit, and it's like you should have introduced Tommy Elliott in the first one, and then move on.
I mean, if they did that, the only way you could do Hush, because Matt Reeves kind of hinted at a Hush in some interview, didn't say it was going to be in the next movie or anything like that, but then talked about Hush. But the only way you could do that is to have a massive time jump. And then in the beginning of the movie, you'd have to catch everybody up.
Not even a time jump. It's just that Hush works because Batman by that point is very seasoned, and you've been initiated to Batman for so long that introducing a brand new character that shapes the entirety of his rogues gallery is a feat in itself. So if you get a Hush character, it has to be a completely wild, different interpretation that just happens to be called Hush.
I hope it's not that. It just seems wrong.
I think they already drew from that in their design of the Riddler and the Hush stuff in the previous movie.
Yeah.
That I don't think they're going to revisit that. I think the studio want them to do something a bit more,
And while I would love to see a Deathstroke in live action, I honestly believe that Deathstroke, and since we just mentioned it, Hush, would have been a perfect one villain after the other for Ben Affleck's Batman, because he's already coming in there being seasoned. You can introduce the Rogues Gallery in a splash page type of montage in a solo Batman movie when he was supposed to write one. That would have been great. And even if you do put a Deathstroke, I'm sorry, but as much as I enjoyed the Batman with Robin Pattinson, he would get his ass kicked.
Yeah, there was another rumor that going around yesterday, this week that that Robin was going to be in this movie, and I'm like, well, first of all, you've created such a dark, sinister kind of Gotham in this world that bringing a teenager along doesn't seem right at all. That doesn't seem like that would fly. But even if you did, you'd still have to time jump. It can't be year 3 and having Robin. That doesn't make any sense to me. Running around year 3 with a teenage boy,
like the Penguin did in the Penguin show,
trying to solve crime.
Well, I don't even think that you need to just plop in a Robin. You can have a story, like the main story being whatever Batman is involved in, and you can have the B plot be the Flying Graysons.
That's what. So I have no problem with that, right?
And then if you make a third one and you want to make a Robin, then there's your Robin.
I think introducing a Dick Grayson in this film, not Robin, but Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I would actually be more for that because the Graysons, especially the Flying Graysons, their only exposure to comics is just being acrobatic and dying, and that's it. And you have an opportunity to flesh out the Graysons.
Yeah.
I also heard that Harvey Dent might be in it as a character, just not Two-Face.
That's interesting.
People were thinking about that because that would be something. Honestly, would be a good idea to let him be Harvey for once you actually like him.
Yeah, because Bruce and Harvey have a friendship, and you can develop that without having to go straight, burn your face, and be a villain.
Yeah.
But the good news is everything's going well, that they expect to actually finally start filming early next year. So we will get our release date.
Oh, I know who it's going to be.
Huh.
Condiment King. It's going to be Condiment King. You heard it here. It's going to be Condiment King.
With Egghead on the side.
Pete is our new villain. You know who it could be is Azrael.
Yeah, because it's like, I feel that, one, it's obvious with all the hints that they're going to do Court of Owls at some point.
Yeah.
And if it is Court of Owls in this movie, Matt Reeves has already said that certain things are too fantastical and the Talons are like zombies. So it's like, that's too fantastical. Yeah. But if you had an Azrael with the Court of Owls or a Deathstroke with the Court of Owls, that would work.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Court of Owls. I mean, I would assume.
Either in this next one or maybe in the third one, or they keep building up to it.
Yeah, you can have the Court of Owls. You don't have in Scott Snyder's run when he introduced him, he was going for the supernatural because he has a supernatural background. Even before he started writing Batman, when he was writing Dick Grayson as the Batman in Detective Comics, he was slowly throwing in all the witchcraft, supernatural, horror elements, and that's pretty much where he was starting in his writing career. And with the Court of Owls, that was kind of like a culmination of everything that he was building up towards. And
I mean, here, I don't think it's too early. I don't think it's too early to put Court of Owls. You just can't. You can't.
No, I'm not saying it's early. I'm just saying you don't need the supernatural. You can just make it that deep society that only a specific elite would know about. That it is so secret that if you're not Bruce Wayne level rich, you're not going to be invited.
Yeah. And I would say, yeah, and I would keep, even in the first one, I wouldn't even have him be invited as Bruce Wayne into the court or anything. They're just kind of there, hovering, just kind of a presence. And then they either send somebody like Deathstroke or Azrael to.
Yeah, and then you can throw stuff about, with human trafficking, drugs. Right. Yeah. You can talk about the dark web.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And here's the full quote in context. It goes like this. He says, let's say we get to make 3 movies. I have no idea, but if we get to make 3, I always wanted the movies to be focused on Batman's character. Once you get past the origin tale, which we didn't quite do, but we did something that referred to his origins, then you start telling the Rogues Gallery story and that character's arc. And I never wanted to lose Batman at the center of these stories, and so that is really what we set our aim on. And so picking the right villain that digs into what that does, that goes into his past and his life. That was what drove the discussion. I won't tell you where we ended up, but we're super excited about it. And I will say it's never really been done in a movie before, so we're excited.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
digging into Batman's past and who he is and that kind of thing.
And then if he's gonna do that, then the approach would be anybody that is related to any of his adventures overseas. And Batman, the character in the comics, has a lot of people he's learned from, or he's trained alongside with, or they both had different ideologies when they were training and they never agreed on something. And then, as it always happens in his rogues gallery, someone from his past comes to fuck things up for a bit.
See,
Well,
I thought.
I don't get the sense that this Batman's been overseas. I think it was Alfred who trained him, right?
Yeah.
We don't know.
But we don't know. We don't know for sure
Because I mean, it's drawing elements from the Earth One Batman, but it's not entirely it's not implausible that he didn't travel at some point. He could have left Gotham at some point. I mean,
I kind of thought maybe back maybe a year ago when I was kind of putting my mind to this, I'm like, well, maybe we'll see Ra's al Ghul in the second one.
It could still be Hush, because Hush is from his past.
Yeah,
and it has to be something that won't. And I'm not saying that this is a reason. It has to be something that's not going to be too similar or too distracting from whatever or whenever we get the Brave and the Bold.
Well, the Brave and the Bold is going to be completely different. It's a different time frame.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastical, and it's going to embrace all the fantastical elements.
And it's already, it's already.
But it has to be something that I can feel like, you know what, this is more of your speed, Matt. Take this one.
Yeah, I mean, because Brave and Bold Damian Wayne's already around, so this is way.
Yeah, and the Robins and the Nightwings are already going to be established.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is that a Deathstroke announcement for Brave and the Bold would make more sense than in a Matt Reeves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Because we talked about it, like if Matt is so gung ho and sticking to not going too over the top into the supernatural elements, then something very science-y, almost pushing the limit is where we're going.
I mean, if he didn't make that, that comment about haven't really been done on screen before, I would say Mr. Freeze, right? Mr. Freeze would be
because they haven't really done the proper Mr. Freeze story in live action before. They tried it on the Gotham show, but the TV budget, that being Gotham, just didn't do very well.
It didn't work.
But it could be, and Dr. Freeze, the doctor, maybe he knew Bruce's dad in the past, so they worked together. That would,
Yeah.
Or it could be also. What am I looking for? No, I'm not going to mention it because I already did it in the show, so it doesn't make sense.
Well, I hope if it is somebody like that, then that's cool. I hope they do a third one and we get Court of Owls and Azrael. Yeah. I'd love to see Azrael done.
I think in any case we're going to find out maybe within another 6 months or so once they start filming this movie, and somebody's going to get the scoop whether they want to release it or not.
Sure.
Information. So.
I'm just excited that it's actually going now, so that's good.
Yeah, that it's actually going to happen for real. And Reeves even commented on the red carpet of the Emmys that we had some stuff, we have some strikes, had some personal stuff, and now we're ready, we're geared up, getting ready to go.
Yeah,
so that's good. Much like the production photo of the Starfighter Star Wars movie, which is done to reassure fans that, yes, don't worry, we are making progress. This wasn't something that we just announced like the other 50 things we announced the deck I canceled. That no, we're actually.
It is such a slap in the face to Daisy Ridley, I swear.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is getting the attention. This is getting mobilized. It's like, wow, you brought me on fucking stage, and this is getting done before mine. Wow.
Well,
you make me go out there for interviews and smile with my big pearly whites, and this gets fast tracked.
That's Kathy's fault. And
I know it's show business. I'm just saying, wow.
No, wow is right. It sucks. It's really bad. They fucked up, and that's her fault for announcing all these movies before they're ready to be announced.
Yeah.
And which I thought that the timing of this photo is weird because we're over 2 years away from this movie coming out, and I mean there's still I don't know, it felt weird.
The timing makes perfect sense to me because, like I said, they want to reassure fans that we're actually doing something, and no, we didn't just trot Ryan Gosling out on stage to say we're doing something and then not do it. So it's like cameras are rolling. So it's like here's
So this is coming in 2027.
May 2027.
Yeah.
Wow, that is early production. Very early.
Which is fine, but
No,
I
it's
mean,
fine, but I'm surprised
other
it's this
movies-
early.
Well, they
Yeah,
might have a lot of visual effects on it, which is why they want to get started with the
Yeah.
film.
And again, very surprising. They usually don't consider that these days.
Well, nowadays they probably are.
Yeah, now there probably are, but again, wow.
Yeah.
I know. It's
Also, wow, Star Wars. Here's a picture of us in the ocean. It looks like another movie set in the ocean.
I made it. I was making fun of it the other day. It's a Waterworld 2, a Star Wars.
Exactly. I saw that. I'm just like, I know, like I get it that most of Star Wars movies takes place in the most mundane backwater, who knows where. But I'm
Yes.
like, that's your first image in the ocean.
Well, yeah, right. I thought it was funny too. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool though, because sand. So
Yeah, enough
go-
desert planets. We've been to too many sand planets.
Yeah, completely opposite. Now we're on a water.
Yeah, but I just see it's. I know it's just that whenever I think of Star Wars, I always think you're on a ship, you're on a outside on a in a spacesuit, or
I
you're
mean, if
being
they
chased
didn't
somewhere, and here we are, ocean.
if they didn't tell you what it was, you wouldn't immediately. I don't look at that image and say it doesn't scream Star Wars at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. It doesn't scream Star Wars.
Some sort.
It doesn't scream Star Wars. That's the point. It doesn't.
And I'm guessing that the marketing blitz for the Mando Grogu movie is going to start with Avatar in December because the Mando Grogu movie is going to be out in May next year.
Yeah, more than
And
likely.
they still have not publicly released officially the trailer that they dropped at Celebration for Mando
They
Grogu.
need to, because it's if that. I mean,
Yeah, that's just a teaser too. It's like you're gonna put a full. They're probably gonna put a full trailer out in December, I would imagine.
It's probably going to be a jumbled mess too.
Oh yeah, it's like a TV show. And I guarantee you,
2 TV shows mashed
Oh, yeah.
together. Right?
and I wouldn't be surprised if they had to do a bunch of rewrites after they lost Carl Weathers, and I bet he was probably going to be in it. I was discouraged to hear that Boba Fett wasn't in it, and that Tamura Morrison seems to think that it's because his Boba Fett show did poorly, so they're taking the wrong message from it, which is that that must mean fans don't like Boba Fett. It's like, no, that's not true.
That's not true.
No, you were just done dirty.
Yeah. So
And you know what's funny? I would prefer, and I know this is just me talking out of my ass, but I would have just prefer a Fett Kersanston movie than a Grogu and Mando movie.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, give me the Han Solo Chewbacca version
problem is
of this.
the problem is the person who did Fett dirty is a self-proclaimed Boba Fett fan. And he would have been the one writing the other one anyway. So I don't know if it would have been any better or worse. You know what I mean? I mean, I love Jon Favreau, but I think he shit the bed on that.
I love him too, and I can tell you right now, motherfucker, you screwed the pooch on this one.
I don't have totally. I don't have a lot of faith in this, The Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
It's just such a cheap lazy marketing title too. It's like, we have to read.
But I'll tell you what, I saw a bootleg copy of the teaser that they put out at Celebration, and it was great. It looked great. Have you seen it, guy?
No.
Oh, it's friggin'. It looks good, but it's it's a teaser, and it's easy to make Star Wars teasers and trailers.
Yeah, look good. Yeah, it's easy to do
Yeah.
Star Wars.
And
it's got to also be self-contained thing. It can't end with to be continued on the streaming shows. It's like, no.
right, yeah.
You know what was a great teaser? What's his name? The guy who did the Fan 4 stick. Josh Trank.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Remember that teaser they did for I don't know if it was the Star Wars Celebration or the Comic-Con version or D23, whichever it was. It was basically either for Rogue One or whatever squadron something that he was supposed to do before he was kicked off the project.
Wasn't that a Boba Fett movie? I thought that was a Boba Fett movie.
No, not Boba Fett, but whatever it was basically a teaser, and you heard in the background a lot of ground troops screaming in the background and shooting at something, but it was a black screen, and it was supposed to be like not a squadron, not a Star Wars squadron, but something similar to ground troop warfare.
I'd be down for that.
Hell, I still want to see Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie.
I think they just retooled that into this new Starfighter movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
And next bit of news is that for some bizarre reason, Paramount and Netflix are very randomly trying to bid to buy Warner Brothers, despite that it's like, why is this suddenly coming up now? And it's like, Skydance first of all has to deal with all of Paramount's debt, which I don't know if David Ellison's just going to cut a big fat check to pay that off and make it go away. But to buy a company which is also debt ridden on top of that for a merger just does not sound like the best business idea. Number one. Number two, it would be terrible to have just one family of people owning that much shit.
Yeah.
You don't need that. And it's bad enough that Disney already owns Fox and has done basically nothing with it except for the Alien and Predator franchises. I'm shocked that they've actually done something with that. Of all the things in the Fox wheelhouse that they've done nothing with, but they picked Alien and Predator. It's like, wow. But yeah, we don't need them buying it. And Netflix, oh my God, Netflix is just their CEO has open contemptibility for movie theaters and the theater industry. He doesn't care about leaving money on the table. And it's like you have to sift through like 80% of dog shit to find anything good on Netflix.
And I don't buy Comcast's bid or talk of bid because I mean they play spoiler all the time. They played spoiler with the Disney bid for Fox and made them pay a ton more money for it.
Yeah,
and they were never serious about buying that.
And the other big thing that makes me think it's not going to happen is that not only is David Zaslav splitting up Warner Brothers and Discovery in April, but he said he's going to offload Warner Brothers' debt onto Discovery, presumably because Discovery brings in so much money with all their reality TV that they can handle the debt more than Warner Brothers.
Yeah, because of the advertisers.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, so it's like, I can get rid of all that debt, and they're on a roll right now anyway. So it's like, with their new division taking off, I don't get what the incentive would be for the shareholders to want to.
No, I think it's a so-called analysts that are saying, oh, Zaslav was just brought in to make the company attractive to sell. I don't think that's correct. I think if he wanted to do that, he didn't need to take as much time and care to actually make the studio stronger and better creatively.
Yeah, because they got so much shit in there.
He wouldn't have given a shit about the creative direction of Warner Brothers. He would have just made the company as a whole stronger and then sold it off. Or got it ready for.
And most people, again, I'm not in that world, so I don't have that business savvy sense. But you don't build something to be like Kat said, on a roll, and they have been on a roll this year, and put all that energy to make it the beacon of entertainment that it was for a time, to be like, okay, now I want to sell it. I'm like, the fuck you are.
Yeah, I don't buy it. It would be bad for the business. Like, it's just we need Warner Brothers.
You can't keep shrinking the competition. I get it that if you have the money and the investors want, I get that mentality. But at some point, you can't keep shrinking entertainment to the point where the only colors available are red, blue, and green. We need purple. We need yellow. We need black. We need white. We need gray.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like. Also, Zaslav, nixed the previous regime's policy of doing DC movies as streaming things. Says no, this needs to be on the big screen, and we are going to prioritize that with quality. That's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And it's like so that would be so you can't sell to Netflix because Netflix.
And not only and that's another thing. The Warner Brothers brand is getting revitalized, and the DC brand definitely needs that revitalization.
And just because Zaslav has been seen, having meetings with big investment firms and big investment banks, that doesn't mean shit. He's a CEO of two major corporations. Of course, he's going to meet with banks. Yeah. They do that all the time. You may want to refinance debt. There's all kinds of other reasons. Yeah, it's not just for mergers and acquisitions.
He even had a meeting with Christopher Nolan. Yeah, it doesn't mean he's going to go back to Warner Brothers because Universal loves him, but they're still going to hang out and meet, and things to talk about. But
and I know they always say never, and I understand that. But at this point, it's just like it should be never for a while.
Plus, if the shareholders approved a merger from either Netflix or Warner Brothers, well, if you prove Netflix, your value goes down because you're not going to get the dollars. Right. Secondly, whereas if you merge with Skydance, it's like the amount of your percentage is going to shrink because now you have to invite all those shareholders in. So
That's
it just
right.
doesn't seem like an attractive bid either way,
No,
especially if
and
you're the
as a
shareholders looking at how Warner
shareholder,
Brothers is going up right now.
yeah, if as a major shareholder, Warner Brothers just made its seventh over $40 million opening in this year, and they
Yeah.
might have an eighth.
And that's
So
and that's never been done before either.
that's
By
never
any
been
Yeah,
done.
this is regardless of what happens this fall with the movies that are coming out that Disney still has coming up, which we already know they're going to make bank. I'm not disputing it. This is their year as far as turning the ship around
And
and
it
and
sucks because Mike DeLuca and Pam Abby are the ones who were at the helm of that, and now it looks
yeah.
like they're out, which sucks. Hopefully, they figure that out and keep.
And I'm surprised that's even being discussed because everybody was giving them shit. And again, there was at some point you're just like, shit, what the fuck's going on? Like these people were hired to, get this going and they're getting their ass kicked in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Bam,
boom,
bam,
boom, bam. There we go.
yeah. It was-
We just
That
needed you
might
guys
change.
to hold off. We were going to start.
Well, that might change. You might bring them back.
I hope so. I mean, who knows?
Like
Yeah.
I would take those 7 successes over relying on one big success.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that is the movie news of the week.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to add, if we could just go back to Star Wars for a minute.
Yeah.
I hope that Starfighter is not another Lone Wolf and Cub movie, because that's what the vibe I get from that.
Oh yeah,
picture.
because it's a kid in it too.
And I'm like, but here's the thing, Sean Levy's really good at telling that kind of story.
Yeah.
So it might work out good. It's just we've had enough of that shit in Star Wars. Actually, we've had enough of that all over the landscape of movies. I think
I had enough of it when he did the previous movie that got him this job. And that movie fucking annoyed me from start to finish.
Well, let's see, Sean Levy. I don't think he's really done much that I actually care for. Let's see. I gotta look up this guy's filmography because I haven't really seen
the movie.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the trailer to come out, then the second trailer to come out, and then the final trailer to come out. And I'm waiting for that one YouTuber that's going to get all those clips and they're going to make a Blade Runner 2049 version of that Star Wars trailer.
He hasn't done a lot that I'm crazy about. I'm looking at his resume. It's like, it's okay.
Well, he only needs one, and we both know which one that is.
Yeah.
I like the one he did with Ryan Reynolds, the Netflix movie. I can't remember the name of it right
That's
now.
the one that I just bitched about.
Yeah, I like it. You and I talked about this before. I like that movie though.
And you know what? I like the idea. I like the design of things. Like I acknowledge on a technical level, this looks very good. It actually looks
The
like
Adam Project, I think it was.
yeah. Like with the exception of a lot of Netflix movies, this one looked like I could actually reach in and touch something, and didn't look like a cheap knockoff of something else that they just threw 200 millions into the air for nothing.
Cat, what was the other Ryan Reynolds movie? The one that
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah, that was good too. I like that one, but that wasn't a Lone Wolf and Cub.
Right.
No, that one was a meme movie that I liked. I'm not saying I hated it. I'm just saying it's a meme movie.
This movie, Starfighter, also has Matt Smith and Mia Goth in it.
Yeah, which I like. Both of those.
By the way, speaking of Matt Smith, I liked him in
Amy
Cauchy
Adams.
Ceiling.
And Amy Adams is in it.
That's right.
Simon Bird, Jamel Westman. So we'll see.
So is Amy Adams gonna be the sassy love interest that he left on a planet and didn't see again for a bit?
Probably.
Yeah, because he's obviously the Han Solo type.
And she's gonna slap him in the face because that's every Star Wars MO when they reunite with an ex.
Scruffy looking nerf herder.
Yep.
And I think Mia Goth and Matt Smith are going to be the bad guys.
Oh, for sure. Especially, it probably because if she weren't in this movie, I could totally see her as an Asajj Ventress.
Oh yeah.
Shave that fucking head and highlight those big fucking eyes. Woo!
Asajj is one of my favorite characters, by the way.
Also, Asajj can get it. I ain't criticizing Asajj and how she looks. She can get it.
Totally get it.
She's a baddie. I don't care.
She's a baddie.
Like
So
3D Asajj is a baddie.
Yeah.
And when they put her in with that little pixie cut in that recent Star Wars uh
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, ooh, Asajj. Who does your hair?
That's funny.
And you have hair.
Yeah.
How did I not know this? By the way, can Disney, and I know this is just me yelling into nothing, but can Disney, when they make those anthology shows, can they, I don't know if it's a money thing, I don't know if it's a story issue or lack of talent or lack of timing because they rush everything under the sun. But can everything last more than like 7 to 11 minutes in
Yeah.
these shows?
Especially for those the tales of the
Yeah.
tales. I liked them. They're really good. I wish they were longer. Just like
Yeah,
this.
it's like you're getting a lot of accolades, you're getting a lot of studios and their uh way of telling stories invested in putting their stamp in this universe. You can afford to give me a full 30-minute, something.
Yeah, especially if it's only going to be like 4 to 6 episodes.
Exactly. Like I get it. It's like I can understand at some point, well, this takes this long, or I get that. But if you really plan it and you plan ahead, you can have a good 6 episodes with top quality, with
Listen,
more than 11.
I don't buy any of the timing, and I'm not. This isn't directed at you, but when people bring up the studios bring up, oh, it's so hard to do, 12 episodes. Like before this little modern era. I mean, they were cranking out 26-hour long episodes of drama TV every single year.
Yeah.
They didn't take 3-year breaks. They didn't have little 8 episode hour, 45 minutes to an hour length, and then take 3 years to do another 6 episodes. No, they were doing
Yeah.
23 to 26 episodes a season,
Mhm.
and kicking them out every year. So don't tell me it
Hell,
can be done. It can totally be done. You just
yeah.
don't want to do it.
Yeah, and I'm not an animator, so I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's definitely hard. I've seen how long it takes one person with a YouTube channel making fan animation of something they love look very good, but you can tell it's only one person doing it. Yet that one person doing it, if they had a well-oiled team behind them, they could be pumping them out weekly if they wanted to.
They were able to do it with Clone Wars. They were able to do it with Rebels. They can do it if they want to do it. It's just they just need the will. They have
Yeah.
the money and the
Well,
time.
they're,
The will.
they're treating it again like content. Oh, we have to fill the content requirement, so they're not really,
Yeah.
because we've seen how all these shows have kind of gone
And then
sideways.
that's where you have the shelf life issue.
Because we've seen how a lot of these shows have gone sideways with what the creators wanted it to be versus what it actually became.
Right.
And Rob has said this a lot when he's on Campia's show that I think it's Rob that said it, that what I'm just using this as an example. What sets Apple TV apart from the rest of the streamers? They don't just throw noise at everybody. They're actually very choosy in what they're putting their money into.
They're curating prestige television.
And
Like,
even if what they're doing maybe probably only makes it to one season, they at least put a lot of energy into the first one to get it as good as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, I just finished the catching up on the last 4 episodes of Sticks, and I was like, "Fuck me, this was great! I can't wait to see the next season if there is one."
Yeah,
So
but
did we already hit the well? We tapped it.
I think we did. Is that everything?
Hmm.
Anything else anybody wanted to bring up, or
No, I think that's it for me.
No, I was thinking of going to watch him tonight, but work was a snooze and the energy just left the room. So I'll probably watch it either tomorrow night or Saturday afternoon. And I might do a back to back because I know there's another thing that opened this weekend.
A Big Bold Beautiful Journey?
Yes.
Both
And
those
because
movies are getting
both movies are like 100 minutes long, so I might do a double feature.
they're
Him
both
got
getting,
is getting really bad reviews.
both
Although
of them are getting bad reviews. Yeah.
there's a couple. I think like the San Jose Mercury News or somebody like that gave it 4 out of 4. I'm like, what movie did you see, bro? But
which one?
him.
Okay. Oh, you already saw it?
He get that, but he got
No, he didn't see it.
4 out of 4.
Okay.
But the rest of the reviews are really bad. I think it's holding about a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
And Big Bold Beautiful Journey?
42%, but 72 critics.
Okay. Yeah. So what you're saying is I should start with him and end with Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
That's what I would do, because it's like I think even if the movie's bad, Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell will be enjoyable enough.
Well, definitely anything with Margot in it, it will be enjoyable.
So the only person I know that saw it and gave an out of theater reaction was Christian Harloff, and he
Which one?
He said he liked A Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
Okay.
So he liked the movie, but it was and the performances were great. It's not what he expected. It's not what the trailer kind of showed, this more glossy kind of big studio movie, and it turns out it's kind of a quirky indie film.
Okay, so it's
so I think the expectation going in for most critics got kind of went sideways, because it got it looked like the promise of a kind of a glossy studio film, and it turned
to be fair, coming out of CinemaCon, that's what they were touting it to be.
Yeah, I know.
Especially with apparently the bid to have this movie be made. So I'm just like, man, with a title like that, it better be a Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, I'll probably see both of them too, and we'll talk about it next week when we cover the Alien Earth finale. And all right, well, thanks for joining.
I'll probably binge the Alien show and maybe join you guys for that review.
Cool.
Okay.
Because I started the first episode, and for whatever reason, I guess I got roped into the Disney, the Hulu account that I have with my Disney Plus that I have on my phone plan. But the Hulu that I have is with ad support, and the one that I watch is the one on my father's account. But I sometimes have to re-up it because they're like Netflix, they kick you out because they're your household, and we're only like 90 minutes away. So because of the zip code bullshit. Yeah. So I figure, okay, well, I'll just watch it on my account. And
yeah.
And I'm used to ads, but man, Hulu is obnoxious with its ads. I mean, fucking obnoxious with their ads.
They all are. Yeah, so that'll be cool. That'll be fun.
All right, so I'm Kat, joined by Steve and Ernesto, and thank you all for coming.
Take care.